Lucy, and this is episode 5 of Waffling About Topics that I really like. Today I'm going to be talking about the first Batman film of the quadrilogy series, since I've already covered all the others. Tim Burton's 1989 Batman. It starred Michael Keaton as Batman and Jack Nicholson as the Joker. In this retrospective, I'm going to be talking about why this film's so iconic and why it still remains an important part of superhero cinema today. First, I'm going to talk about the plot and the characters. Batman introduced a darker and grittier interpretation of the character. A lot of Batman media made before this was aimed towards more kids, but this film was aimed more towards teenagers and adults. The storyline is really simple. Batman battles against his arch-nemesis, the Joker. It kept to a more simple, straightforward plot. To be honest, I did personally find myself getting a bit bored at times, don't get me wrong. It's not a bad film, I just found the overall plot a bit underwhelming, and I couldn't really get into it as much as other Batman films. Jack Nicholson's portrayal of the Joker, though, is often hailed as one of the most iconic performances in all Batman cinematic history. His manic energy, combined with his dark humour and charismatic presence, just brought a new dimension to the character. He manages to perfectly capture the comic book Joker that people wanted to see. His performance is still talked about today when people reference who played the best Joker. The dynamic between Batman and Joker captured the audience's attention throughout the film. Similarly to the next couple of films to follow this, Tim Burton's distinct visual style really helped to redefine how superhero films could be depicted on screen. With its gothic atmosphere and dark aesthetic, Batman showcased Gotham City as dark, and it was filled with gargoyles and towering buildings and a lot of sketchy alleyways, and a lot of newer Batman films now go for darker themes like The Dark Knight and The Batman. But at the time, this was something fresh, as people were used to the really cheesy adaptations like the 60s TV show and movie. I just wanted to take a minute to talk about the actual production design of the film. I'm not as educated in this topic, but Anton Furst's Academy Award-winning production design played a role in establishing the film's iconic look. The sets like Axis Chemicals factory or Wayne's Manor looked amazing, and Furst's work laid the groundwork for future interpretations of the Batman world, like I mentioned with the newer and darker films. Danny Elfman's score for Batman further enhanced the film's atmosphere. The iconic main theme has become synonymous with Batman himself. Elfman's music perfectly captured the dark essence of the character, which just took the film to another level. Unlike the rest of the quadrilogy, Batman was a success from the minute it was released, and it grossed over $400 million worldwide at the box office. It made people more interested in superhero films as a genre, and it paved the way for future adaptations like Christopher Nolan's The Dark Knight trilogy. It demonstrated that comic book adaptations could appeal to wider audiences by exploring darker themes and complex characters, and not everything comic book related has to be cheesy and aimed towards kids. Tim Burton's 1989 film Batman redefined what superhero movies could achieve. It had a dark atmosphere and memorable actor performances from Michael Keaton and Jack Nicholson, stunning production design, and an iconic musical score. It's still considered an iconic film in the superhero genre. Its impact on future Batman adaptations and superhero cinema as a whole just can't be ignored. Decades later, this film continues to have a following, and it still inspires future Batman films.